I saw a document in circulation about change of the names of streets in the Ajegule area of Lagos State. A host of the streets, the names of the streets in Lagos, in the Ajegule area, are names of people from other parts of the country who initially built houses in those areas and who settled in those areas. And so you have Mba Street, you have Abukuru Street, you have several streets there that bear Igbo names. And some of those houses have been there for years. In fact, Ajegule in those days used to be called Ileusobo because a lot of Urobo people lived in Ajegule. Now, there is a new wave of ethnocentricity and ethnophobia among the present crop of young Yoruba leadership from the APC in particular. From the APC in particular. Lagos is a home for all. And no ethnic nationality can ascribe the development of Lagos to itself. All tribes have contributed to Lagos, the development of Lagos State. In fact, people like Jakonde, they are from Kwara State. And in those days, people like Okotiebo and a host of others, including Alex Ekweme, owned buildings in Lagos State. And people lived together peacefully. We have Ibadan Street in Aba. We have streets of different parts of Nigeria in Umuahia. It is unfair. It is extreme pedestrian behavior for the present Yoruba leadership in Lagos State to start removing the names of other tribes from their streets. But they have the names of foreigners, people who are not from Nigeria. They have streets named after them. It shows the poverty of your brains, how stupid you are. If you are very, very bold, and if you are not slaves, go and change Ahmadu Bello way, whether you can stay in that Lagos. I am extremely disappointed that right from the time of the 2023 elections, Yorubas are known for elitism, egalitarianism, for tolerance, for democracy, and for advocacy without tribal bigotry. But I was surprised that people who are supposed to be intellectuals in Yoruba land started talking like street boys. I was surprised that people like Oluomo, MC Oluomo, were bold enough to threaten Igbos living in Lagos concerning elections. I was surprised that some primitive Bales were threatening Igbos about voting for a particular candidate. is a very sickening and sad situation. Apart from, I made a statement concerning Buba Galadima, who said that they brought Buhari to checkmate Obasanjo. I have not seen any Yoruba elite or blogger make any statement condemning Buba Galadima. But when it comes to the Igbos, your muscles will stand erect, and it is then you want to show your primitive attitude. Yorubas I know who are educated have been very unbiased, tribally neutral. They represented the conscience of the nation. People like Gani Fawehinmi, people like Dele Farotimi, people like Okiowo, people like Femi Falana, and a host of others. They were very, very detribalized. But these young APC politicians are very, very parochial. And somebody from the western part of this country must speak up against that retrogressive and primitive action. We have Yoruba Street in Sapele. You have Yoruba Party in the UK. Kemi Badenoch is Yoruba, but she is the leader of the Conservative Party in the UK. Why are you, all these people who have been to Europe and stayed in different parts of the world, why are you people becoming so primitive because of your tribalistic attitude? There's something I find irritating, is that those of you who are thinking of secession, either forming Arewa or forming Yoruba, Biafra, or forming a Yoruba nation, you are going to be very intolerant of other people. You are going to be very, very wicked to strangers from the way you are behaving. And that's why I am always infuriated and irritated by your parochial and primitive instinct. Whoever initiated that move in Lagos to be changing the names of streets in Ajegule, they are going to start a national retaliatory action for your stupidity. You are illiterates. You are not true Yoruba elites. You are a gang of backward people who hate other tribes, particularly the Igbos. And this action must be condemned. It must be condemned. I see a tendency of people who are younger than my age bracket leaning towards the disintegration of this nation. But I see a deafening silence from elites who are of my age bracket, who enjoyed the unity of this country, not speaking up. They are not speaking up. You are allowing children without experience to direct you. It is sad. I just said that we have Yoruba Street in Sapele. The second house in my street is owned by a Yoruba man, and we cannot start degenerating. Remember, many of you are very parochial and very stupid. Look at what happened in Yugoslavia. When Yugoslavia started breaking up, you see the number of lives that were lost, the disaster and the destruction that took place, genocide that took place. You can't handle what will take place in Nigeria if we start breaking up this country. Many of you have nothing to lose, no investments anywhere outside your primitive enclaves. And some of you don't even have investments anywhere, particularly the young agitators that are very intolerant of contrary opinion. So, if you start changing the names of streets, does it make you the owner of the buildings? Mumu, does it make you the owner of the buildings? If every outsider leaves Lagos for you, you will have a skeleton. If we drive away northerners from our communities, we will have a skeleton. I'm against people who are criminals and bandits, like some of these Fulani headsmen that enter people's farms and destroy them and do all kinds of catastrophe. We should drive such people away from our communities. You so-called Yoruba elites, have you gone to Ondo State to drive out people who are killing your people? What did they worry you now? Now they craze, jobless people without the ability to compete and to contest.